Hola, buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everybody. We are coming to the end of our CIDOC 2023 conference here in Mexico City, hosted by UNAM, la Universidad Autónoma de México, el Instituto de Estéticas. Tenemos una... Ay, no me pusieron las slides, las pongo yo. Tenemos la agenda para la reunión plenaria. That's what happens when you're multilingual. You switch languages and then you forget what language you were talking on. Sorry about that. So I will try to stick to English. ¿Dónde viene la agenda? We have a packed agenda. The night is young. And so what I propose is we work pragmatically. Generally, our last AGM, the annual general meeting of the CIDOC, is the place where we sort of recap what we have done. Okay. Okay. Well, generally, in this last general meeting of the CIDOC, we sort of do a recap on what we have done in the past year, and so we go through all the main let's see, activities. We have prepared this agenda, and let's just jump to the topic. I'm not sure, Stephen, you have a list of the apologies, attendance?
I've got 3,
Okay.
Axel, Monica and Frank.
Okay. We have the minutes from the previous meeting.
Been circulated.
These have been circulated.
Can we have approval?
What I would like to ask is... Ay, espérame tantito.
That doesn't help me.
Well, I'm so sorry. You know, working bilingual and sin Gabriela there, I just realized that I missed an important step. So, you know, for the members of CIDOC, you have received some minutes. Any of members that have received the minutes and have read them, are there any changes that we must make? Are there any objections? Okay. Minutes have been approved. Before we go to the reports, I would like to ask our local host, ICO Mexico, to just say a word.
Hi, everyone. Well, we're done. Thank you, everyone, for being here. For ICOM Mexico, had been a pleasure to accompany CIDOC International Committee. Especially, well, I want to thank many people, especially Trilce, Navarrete, and Pedro Ángeles, and all the team of the Instituto de Investigaciones Estéticas, because, well, I'm going to switch. Voy a hablar en español. porque realmente han hecho un trabajo magnífico. De verdad que muchísimas gracias a todo el equipo del Instituto de Investigaciones Estéticas, del Museo Universitario de Arte Contemporáneo, de la Biblioteca Nacional, que han sido unas sedes maravillosas, y por supuesto a todos ustedes por la confianza en México de poder hacer esta reunión anual del Comité de CIDOC. Y con México es realmente una fortuna poder haber reunido aquí a tantos expertos en la documentación de museos y vamos por más. Muchísimas gracias.
More on Ecom Mexico in a minute. Thank you, Gabriela. Yeah. Let's see, Chair's report. No,
Oh, Chair's report.
I guess.
Yeah.
What I would like to do is just to make a couple of comments. We have had in this conference a very different approach, I will say, for a number of reasons. We have a new elected board that started in January. Several youngsters, in the meaning that first-timers in the board of an international committee of Ecom. So it's been quite fun. We are thankful of all those fresh eyes that make all these questions about the way things work. And so we are making some changes. For those of you who were in the strategy presentation of CIDOC and of the other work of CIDOC, you might have heard some things. We are thinking of other ways to navigate our communication with our members and our support to our members. And Mexico was actually the first experiment. So thank you for that. As Gabriela said, a trust for us to experiment new ways to work. I won't say much because we will hear more of that later. But what I would like to say is that there's been so many changes in this past period. We've had changes in Ecom, changes in CIDOC, the pandemic, digital transformation across the world, and so on. And for us to be here has been quite special. Not only, again, because we have the chance to be in this warm, beautiful place full of flowers, but also to hear other perspectives. And this is one of the main aims of CIDOC in the coming period, to give space for different voices to be part of the conversation. Documentation is not, as we've heard throughout the conference, is not something that we can just boast. It's actually like a Pandora box. Once you open it, it takes you to wonderful places. And this is something we embrace. And so in the past year, what can I say? We have made some collaborations with some international committees, as we have done in the past. And so our alliances with CIMSIM, the Committee of Musical Instruments, remains strong. Our association with COMCOL, with collections, remains strong. We're exploring new communication and new plans and new experiments with CC, the International Committee of Conservation, as well as with Intercom, the International Committee of Museum Management. And this is why that choice, because somehow it happened this way, and we have to start somewhere. Our board has decided to think about what we want to do in the next 3 years that we were given to propose a work plan. So we appreciate the vote of our members to say, you believe in what we have to say and how we work. And so we hope to, again, reflect what we see are the needs of the community to better support museum documentation. Another thing is perhaps the plans of the coming year. I will just say really briefly that given the experience in Mexico, the very positive experience in Mexico. We're planning other workshops in the coming year, all the way in the coming 2 years, actually, until we get to Dubai, the triennial of ICOM, where CIDOC will be present as customary. And we're also planning something new, which is I'm not sure it's the best word, but we call them satellites, where we work in different regions or documentation hubs, and we support actions and efforts there. And so if you have ideas on things that are needed in your region, or individuals that are really interested in documentation and want to do something with CIDOC, please approach any of us. For those of you new to the board, I see many familiar faces, but also a few new ones. So as you see all of these reports, you'll see who the people behind CIDOC and CIDOC's working group are. Feel free to reach out. And so with that, I think the last point I'd like to make is that I'd like to very much thank the work of the board. It's been an extremely active board. We used to meet twice a year, now we meet monthly. The beauty of digital. And we have several task forces to, for instance, think of definition for documentation, to think of our feedback back to the ethics committee on ICOM, and to give other feedback to the ICOM headquarters and ICOM community. So I really want to appreciate everybody, as well as the committees doing all their work. And so with that, I would like to give the floor to our local representative, perhaps, to say something about, we don't have it in the agenda, CIDOC 2023, but I would like to invite you to present some of the things that we did. Yeah. Thank you. Mira. I'm going to share my slides. Okay, can I click continue? Share the slides.
Buenas tardes a todos, a todas. Será en español esta parte de la presentación. Les doy un momento para ponerse. Ya es Bisam. Muchas gracias. Bueno, agradezco, Trilce, este momento para poder compartir pues, el trabajo de todo el equipo, en realidad, en representación de Pedro, de Claudio, de Durne, de Betsabe, que están aquí sentados, como la parte medular del equipo de organización, pero también todo el apoyo en las dos sedes de todo el equipo del Instituto de Investigaciones Estéticas y también de la Biblioteca Nacional de México, así como a todos los que han estado estos días constantemente participando en las discusiones, escuchando, riéndose con nosotros también de todos los ires y venires que hemos tenido en esta conferencia. Creo que es parte… llevar a cabo estos eventos y dialogar en estos contextos es parte de enfrentarnos a nuestras propias problemáticas y ver que no estamos solos y ver que todos en distintas formas tenemos situaciones similares y que creo que lo que nos reúne es la intención y la pasión. La intención por buscar soluciones, sea hacia la digitalización, sea para que los públicos o los usuarios o las comunidades conozcan y coadyuven o ayuden a proteger su patrimonio, pero también para trabajar como instituciones. Al final del día, muchos de nosotros y nosotras formamos parte de diversas instituciones, muchos museos, sitios de gestión del patrimonio, acervos, repositorios, bibliotecas, archivos. Y creo que nos une la pasión porque eso se preserve, porque forme la memoria y porque se dé a conocer. Entonces, me han pedido que comparta con ustedes. Ahora no pasa. Ahí, perdón. Gracias. El reporte de lo que ha ocurrido en este CIDOC 2023 México. Tuvimos unas semanas antes de iniciar esta conferencia presencial varias actividades como conferencias previas o como conversatorios previos que particularmente concentraron las problemáticas de los museos de México, dividiéndonos en 3 regiones que fueron norte, sur y centro. Cada uno de estos conversatorios que se hizo en línea y que está disponible, reunió diferentes problemáticas de cada región, porque al final del día somos un país, pero como cada país, las regiones tienen sus propios problemas y sus propias realidades de presupuesto, de relación con la comunidad, de conservación, etc. Entonces se dio un diálogo muy rico con diferentes colegas de museos y también con las personas que asistieron vía YouTube. En estos 3 conversatorios participaron hubo más de 1,600 reproducciones de estos videos y se presentaron en total 29 conferencias o 29 charlas. Además, esta es la de GLAM. Además tuvimos una híbrida, una conferencia híbrida que se llevó a cabo en la Biblioteca Nacional de México y también, por supuesto, tuvo su réplica digital, su réplica en YouTube, en donde hubo 2 conferencias magistrales y más de 40 participantes, hablando desde, no solamente los museos, que había sido la primera parte, sino reuniendo y sobre todo presentando la perspectiva de las bibliotecas y los repositorios. Por eso, con la perspectiva GLAM, que así se llamaba esta conferencia o esta mesa. Y en este caso, en estos días que estuvimos reunidos, se llevó a cabo, bueno, creo que todos lo hemos vivido de diferente forma, hemos estado en muchas de estas actividades. Se llevó a cabo previamente un taller de CIDOC CRM, esto ocurrió viernes, sábado y domingo, algunos de ustedes estuvieron allí, con George Brusecker. A lo largo de estos días ya en los que hemos estado reunidos en ambas sedes, sí. En los que hemos estado reunidos en ambas sedes, creo que perdimos conexión más bien. Bueno, no lo puedo ver. Un momento. Así ven la misma información que nosotros. Gracias. Hubo 3 ponencias magistrales o 3 keynotes que abordaron problemáticas de los estándares y la documentación en el mundo, de la perspectiva de México, me falta una. La de Sol, efectivamente. No, bueno, no eran por nombre, era por temática. Pero bueno, tuvimos estas 3 presentaciones magistrales, 4 paneles, se presentaron el día de hoy 14 pósters, hubo 16 sesiones de trabajo y en total en todas las sesiones que se llevaron a cabo en ambas sedes, 66 presentaciones de todos y todas ustedes que pudimos algunas ver de forma presencial y otras en línea, y si no, en unos días también las podremos ver para quienes nos perdimos alguna, cuando estén abiertas ya en el canal de YouTube y podamos regresar a ellas también para aprovecharlas. Bueno, ahí están viendo una imagen de la sesión de hoy, de los pósters. Ok. Respecto de los participantes, del control de la estadística de las participaciones, fueron en total 208, 160 personas registradas y 45 personas en línea. Se otorgaron 48 becas, fueron 27 otorgadas por Getty y la Fundación Getty y 21 becas asignadas de forma local. Hemos estado reunidos aquí 30 países y de esos 30 países, 88 miembros del ICOM. y además la promesa de 120 miembros que pronto, bueno, 120 personas que pronto serán miembros. Bueno, muchas gracias por este pequeño espacio. Me pidieron que les compartiera esto y también, más allá de la solicitud especial de Trilce, de compartirles estos números y que sepan cómo se ha vivido esta conferencia, tanto a nivel de actividades como a nivel de participantes, pues es agradecerles porque este esfuerzo, más allá del trabajo que hace, por supuesto, el board del CIDOC y el comité de organización, implica el esfuerzo de todos para venir, para prepararse, para compartir y obviamente el trabajo que hacemos día a día en torno a la documentación o para resolver los problemas que cada uno de nosotros aborda cuando trabajamos y defendemos el patrimonio. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Lucia. Generally, is the chair that presents this information, but I just thought you all wanted to meet Lucia in case you hadn't. You wanted to hear her. What's next is the treasurer's report. Just a minute. I'll change my hat. So I'd like to share that Dieter was unable to come, our treasurer, because of personal matters, but he's able to send us just an overview. For all the members of CIDOC and all of those who work with CIDOC, you might be interested to know where are we at. Our balance in January 23 was almost 44,000 euros. Income from 2023 was Getty Foundation scholarship for travel grants. And we have also the Paris contribution, so the ECOM contribution based on our membership. This is my moment to say that if you like the work of CIDOC, please become a member of CIDOC, because ECOM gives every international committee a yearly payment, a yearly stipend. Thank you, a yearly stipend based on the number of registered members, not as second international committee, but as first international committee, because it's only those who are first international committee members who can vote. And so those are the ones that are rewarded with some goodies to advance efforts. Our expenses were not done yet. We're still working the conference, but there are some costs associated, for instance, with the winter board meeting we have every year to advance some of the actions that are discussed during the annual conference. And our balance up to now is about 50,000, but this does not take into consideration Getty's foundation contribution, and the surplus has to be transferred back to Getty. So this is still work in progress, but at least you have an idea. In order to understand how Paris allocates the stipend based on members, you can see we have generally a basic funding. We have also the membership subvention, so that means all of you who choose CIDOC for members, we're very thankful. And we have the performance subvention. That means whenever we engage in supporting documentation and the effort and the mission of CIDOC, and we're also supported with this. We also have a young member travel grant, and I'm sorry, Maisel is unable to be here. She felt the cold of the air conditioning a little bit too hard, and so she stayed home today. But anyways, I wanted to thank Maisel for sending her membership for our young member and for helping us in this way advance CIDOC and ECOM's activities. Are there questions on the finances of CIDOC? I can pass along to Dieter. Okay, so maybe we can move on to the editor? No? Secretary, okay.
My slides.
Yeah. Can I have some help to get some slides up, please? Oh, I had to stop. Just a minute.
Oh, you got Juliana's.
I have Juliana's. Should we just do that?
Yeah, let's do the matter.
I'm sorry, we'll just keep like this, and then, because I already have her slides here, so I'll just go first and then he. It's okay. Pues, ¿sabes qué? Déjame yo hacer primero las mías y después le pasamos a él. Porque yo aquí las tengo. Sí. ¿Sí? Ok, perdón, ya te hice bajar. A ver, entonces otra vez hago el, ¿cómo se? Primero tengo que hacerlas grandes, ¿verdad? Dijiste. La proyecto y después voy a Zoom y luego Share Screen. Y aquí está, gracias. Ok. I'll change my hat again. Juliana Alves is our editor. She's unable to come also because of some personal things, and so I'll just share really quick the work that she has sent us. Let me see if I can move this thing that I can see the slides. Yeah. So what has been done? Juliana has created a communications group task to advance all actions. She's reviewed the communication strategy for CIDOC, and this was approved by the board. So she's able to start all the work as she has devised. She's reviewing and taking over the edition and the creation of the web pages. So she's doing quite a bit of work on the website. They are doing an analysis on the expected audience. Who do we want to reach to define the strategy and how to better reach them, and with what communication tools, including the newsletter and social media. Yeah. This is some of the images where you can see some of the materials that have been produced. Thank you, Mexico, for designing such wonderful logo and visuals that we can reuse. I see the website has an older picture where it says "We're welcome to Mexico," but it doesn't have the current banner, which is the MUAC's image. In the graph, you can see our visitors. It's been a period in that we're still getting used to our new website. When we left our CIDOC website, we're part of the eComs family of websites, so we're still exploring what's the best way to communicate. And last, we would like to thank the communication group. Some are here, but many are not here. And we're exploring reaching out to other regions, other countries, and other languages. Thank you very much. Nice. Ahora si me pones las de él, por favor. Secretary's report? Stephen.
So
Can
there
you
are,
get closer to the microphone, please?
yeah. There are 998 members from 93 countries, 134 institutional members from 41 countries, and then the interested people who've put CIDOC down as a second or third committee. There are 1,275 of them from 104 countries. And I drew some, well, we've got some pretty graphs to go with it. So this is individuals by region and top countries, and this is the institutional ones. You don't get countries for the also round friends of CIDOC. Paris doesn't deem them to be worthy of countryness. That's it.
Thank you. Questions? Yes, there's a question.
So, Mr. Secretary, how does the breakdown of membership for CIDOC compare with the breakdown for ICOM as a whole?
I am not privy to that information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. We can check this for the annual report and maybe add to the slides for whenever we post them up for the report of this AGM. That's a great question. Thanks. Other questions? Okay. Editor's report we've done. We go to the Training Association report. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it yes?
No, that's the editor's report in PDF format.
Ah, okay.
That's
Okay.
Mr. Crook.
Nicholas, can I invite you to the table, please?
Thank you. So I'm going to tell you something about the Training Association, which is a strange sort of working group. The Training Association is actually instantiated as a legal body. It's an association under Swiss law. That gives the Training Association certain legal rights, such as being able to open a bank account, enter into contracts, and hold copyright, which are things that are necessary to be able to work as on training. The association is responsible for the CIDOC training program, which consists of a training philosophy and methodology. Basically, that means it's a non-profit approach to training, and our philosophy is to enable people to do training themselves. We prefer to train trainers rather than train people. And we have a pedagogical training program, so that all the people who do training are actually museum professionals working in museums. We prefer to train people who work in museums rather than to explain to professional teachers what museums are about. That's too much difficulty. We have a big catalogue of material now, nearly 40 different modules. A lot of that is translated. All of it is in English. Quite a lot is in Portuguese, some is in Spanish, and there's a little bit in French as well. And we have a registry of participants. We have a trace of who has taken which modules, so that if somebody loses their certificate, they can ask for a new one and prove that they took part in a training program at some point. So far, we have had more than 300 participants taking part in at least one module, and we have over 30 trainers now actually trained and ready to give classes on their given subject. So now about what we've been up to in this period. We were running a regular annual summer school program. This would be a week or so, 5 days to a week of intense training, and that was taking place in different places, in Brazil, in Texas, and so on. And we did that every year from 2011 till 2018. Then we stopped because of the pandemic and because of the election of an unfavorable president who wouldn't give visas to people to go to the United States. Maybe I should not say that publicly. Anyway, however, we haven't been able to organize any actual in-person summer schools since 2018. However, I'm very hopeful that we will be back on track with that soon, because we have now a memorandum of understanding, that's a sort of contract, with the EM+, which is the Experimental Museology Lab in the PFL in Switzerland. And of course, we're open to agreements with other places as well. And this conference, lots of people have been coming up to talk to me to say they would like to organize training sessions in their institutions. So if you want to do that, please do contact me. So I've been concentrating on putting material online. We had 4 modules available. We now have 11. Each of these modules, you can see the screen there showing some of the modules. They have a slideshow with an accompanying side track and exercises to be able to self-test as you're going along. And all of that material is free for CIDOC members. You do just have to register, give your ICOM number, and then you can use it for free. And it's all very low bandwidth, so you should be able to look at it even if you don't have a very good internet connection, which is important, I realize, for a lot of our members. Okay, that's all. As I said, if you're interested, if you'd like to know more, please get in touch. Okay.
Thank you, Nicolas. We start now with the working group reports. Many working groups are not present and they send their things. Let's concentrate on those who are here. Let's see. We start with archaeological sites. Stephen?
That's my other hat. I haven't got as many as Trilcia, but we haven't been able to meet this year, but we're editing the core data standard and the archive deposition standard. We're hoping that we will have those finished in 2024.
Okay, thank you. We have a co-reference model. I propose we post this online for those who want to watch. We have we have the CIDOC conceptual reference model. I'd like to invite Christian Emil to the table. Okay, sure. There's many mics.
Okay. Just next slide, please. It's CIDOC CRM has Martin Dörr as agrees as the chair, and then we have 3 deputy chairs, all male, so it's a kind of male biased group, so that should perhaps be changed. And this year we had a meeting in May at 4th Crete, and our meetings last for 4 days usually. And the next meeting will be in Marseille, the 10th to 13th of October. So that's just in a week's time. Okay, next one. And this is just a very long list of all these sub-models of CRM and the status of those. And CRM base is quite stable, so it's just minor adjustments and updates. And current version is 7.2.3, and is a draft standard. And then we have CRM Archeo, which it has been presented here. It has been a major consolidation with CRM base 7.1, and the standard CRM Archeo is now in version 2.0, and we hope it should be more like a stable thing during the next CRM meeting. And CRM Inf, which is about scientific inference, a major revision of the belief adoption finished. Interface with CRM Tech, which is come down to that one, is finished. Okay. Yeah, sorry. And CRM Sci, which is scientific observations, is consolidated with version 7.1, and it has a stable version 2.0, and it is available as RDFS. Yeah. CRM Tech is about epigraphy, and it's again consolidated with CRM 7.1, and it is a stable version, and the interface with CRM Inf for citation and content interpretation. And then we have CRM Dig, which is not archaeology, but is about digital things. A review has started, no news. CRM PEM, which digital services, review has started. CRM Geo and CRM SOC Society, nothing to report. And Ferber 00 and Press 00 closed for updates. Yeah. And then if you go to the library part of our work, LRM 00 is a library model, and it was issued for an IFLA worldwide review in April 2023. All comments and issues from the review has been resolved. The IFLA Bibliographic Concept Models Work Review Group approved LRM 00 during his meeting at the IFRA conference in Rotterdam, 22nd of August this year. And then, which is very important, is the ISO review of ISO 21127, which is CIDOC CRM 7.1.2. It is on the track for a 24 months timeline, making the anticipated end date in May 2014. So ballots has results received in May 2003, and 18 voted yes, 11 abstained, and nobody voted no. Final approval is to be sent to the first week of October 2023, after which the document will proceed to publication. And then we have ongoing translations into French and Spanish. So you see, this is just, it's a big issue, it's a big canvas to reach, because you have so many extensions and we want to do this properly. So thank you.
Digital preservation, digital strategy development. Do we have? Yes. Yes, please. Can you help us with this? Change the slides, please. Sonia, you want to sit here? Yes. She's changing the slides.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm sitting here for Jan Behrendt. He couldn't participate in Mexico and asked me to show you the 3 slides he prepared so you know what we are doing in the Digital Strategy Development Work Group. We are a loose network of professionals from galleries, libraries, archives, and museums who are interested in the challenges of digital transformation in heritage institutions. That's the reason why we wanted to change our work group name into Digital Transformation Work Group, because that makes sense now, 2023. What are our aims? We try to access digital strategies of heritage institutions according to preset criteria. To understand which stakeholder groups take influence or are affected by the process of digital strategy development of heritage institutions. To advise institutions in the process of strategy development, and to actively disseminate results of the CIDOC working groups in the process of the digital strategy development in order to foster standard-based museum work. The work for this and the next year is setting impulses, being a visible and active contributor at conferences about digital transformation, bringing together specialists in the field of activity, linking ICOM committees with interest in comprehensive digital strategy approaches, promoting the idea of digital nonchalance, it's Jan's word, yeah, you hear him through his slides, as a concept that embraces digital activities in heritage museums without overemphasizing them where they may not belong. And something to work with is further developing materials such as a checklist and questionnaires that may be of help in the process of strategy development. Our work group is very short, so Jan Behrendt is the chair, and we 3, me, myself, Christian Funjodi from Hungary, and Maya Gansvi from Israel, are working in this group, and we are very happy if anybody wants to join us. Thank you.
Maya, can I invite you to the table, please?
Yes. Skip over.
So I assume I don't have the notes there, so I have them here. Good. Hello, everybody. My name is Maija Ekosaari, and I'm the chair of Documentation Standards Working Group. And my project lead is Rupert Shepherd. Thank you. Change, please. We will be reporting about one major accomplishment this year, which has kept us busy during the past few years: exhibition object data exchange model. Thank you. Our working group is delighted to announce it, that the version 1.0 was released on 1st of September this year. And this has been a result of huge amount of work by many people. Too many to read out loud, but you can see their names here on the slide. And we want to take an opportunity to thank them all for their efforts. Yeah, you can go to the next one. EODEM makes it possible to export object exhibition data from one collection management system to another, just by a touch of button. That's the dream we have always had, to automate something so easy. It is a profile of Lido version 1.1. And often Lido is used to publish data, but in this case, we use Lido to enable dialogue between two different collections management systems. And the dialogue is necessary since the exhibition loans workflow often go back and forth, and it requires updating the data several times. The next one. Oops, do I have my notes here? Yes. But EODEM will work only if people start using it. And before they can start using it, the software suppliers need to add importers and exporters to their systems. Wait a second, are we on the right? Yeah. Yeah. So I will start again. Sorry about the discoordination. So EODEM will only start work if people start using it, and this is the group of software providers we have now on board with us, who are happy to help you, who have already started to add EODEM into their systems. Museum Digital and Zcom have both released an importer and exporter in their current versions. An importer and exporter will be included in the next major release of modes. It's version 1.6. And the remaining 8 are either developing or planning to develop an EODEM exporter, and 4 of them are also working on the importer. And I hope that after this conference, after the poster session this morning, we have another 5 or 6 or 10 who will be working with us. Please. So what resources are available to help software suppliers and documentalists to develop and use EODEM? We have prepared a big information package. You can find links to all necessary files on the project's homepage on CIDOC website. For example, frequently asked questions, links to previous presentations of EODEM, and also a list of software suppliers. If you're looking for a support, we also have an email address for that, or a Slack workspace if you prefer. And if you get really involved, please send Rupert an email. So, why should you as museum people start asking your supplier to introduce EODEM? It will save you time and your colleagues' time when you can use it, which you can use to more rewarding tasks than copying and pasting data. It will also improve data quality. There will be fewer typos, and the system will automatically put data into the correct database fields. It will help you show your colleagues that collection management systems are useful as well as international standards. But the key step you can take is to ask your collections management system supplier to incorporate it in their system. So with that QR code, you can log into our web pages, see all the information, find everything you need. Thank you for listening.
I will try to change. Voy a cambiar mis diapositivas para esta compu otra vez. One last slide. Creo que ya la tengo. Solo es una y me regreso a la otra. Okay. I just changed real quick my hat again. So this is for the Domino group. And this is something I learned from other working groups, setting up the members of the working group. I'll try to remember, but maybe I'll ask you guys to help me with the names. I don't know if I'll manage so. Domino is the working group. I am terrible with acronyms. Of the Documentación de Museos Iberoamericanos. Iberoamerican Museums, Documentation of Ibero-American Museums, thank you. The group is made up of active members who are actually holding monthly discussions, among other things, about what is documentation, about how do we do the work, and about the daily experiences in Spanish. We also are working on a report of a survey conducted on the documentation of museums. It's almost done. We're just on the final check of the English translation. For those of you who have registered for this conference, you will receive a PDF copy along the other rest of the materials that you will receive. We also have another working line on the inventory of educational programs in the region. So we're starting with Chile and Argentina and are moving up on the continent of the Americas. So you might hear from us if you're in the region, trying to figure out what educational programs are available in Spanish. Other actions that we have envisioned in the coming year are the revision of the website to update the translations needed, the translation of other materials that might not be on the website necessarily, technical checklist that is quite necessary for our members, and to develop further educational materials about CIDOC for the community who might not know about the work we do. Members are, co-chair is, well, the chair of the working group is Marcela Covarrubias from Chile. We have from Argentina, Paula Casajus. You might have met her earlier. She had to leave early to catch a plane. We have Pedro, and we have Claudio from Mexico. We have Cesar Huisiga from Peru. We have Joana Alves from Brazil. We have Joana Monteiro, also from Brazil. Well, Joana Alves / Portugal. ¿Me falta alguien? Well, Juliana Alves and Juliana Monteiro. Sí. So thank you for the team. Okay. Thank you very much. Change my hat again. Alexandre, can I ask you to come to the table?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me thank our colleagues from Mexico for a great conference. And afterwards, this is not a work group report, but an individual, not non-working report. The group that I chair has not worked so much last year, so I'm here sitting in front of you just to tell you that. But nevertheless, we had some work done before of that, and I'm here just to ask you if you want to join us. For sure we need people to work with us at this working group of exhibitions and performance documentation. So please send me an email or to CIDOC, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.
We don't have information centers working group, intangible goal. We have a PDF. Do you have other slides? Sergio, can I invite you to come to the table?
Double click on the PDF. PDF should open. Join this PDF view.
This one? No, this is little. I can't.
I thought it was embedded. Presentation was also.
Yeah, Stephen placed it this way, so it's okay. Is it possible for you to present?
Okay.
But maybe we can,
and then double click
let's see
on it.
if you can send your presentation to them, and then we'll go to the next one.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna shift. So the delivery of the slides didn't go correctly, so we just go to the next working group and then we'll come back when that is ready. Lido working group doing lots of activities, linked art, MPI, museum process implementation with Walter, and we have semantic research environments, and I guess then we wait for Sergio. Let's see. Maybe I'll just play a video. Should I? In the it's coming. Okay, we're downloading the presentation. Ahora sí, Sergio, te invito a la mesa, por favor.
Hello again. For the people who were at the last session, will be a bit of a repetition. Gracias México, gracias CIDOC por esta conferencia magistral. He aprendido mucho. And I'm here just to give you a partial overview of what the work group of CIDOC Intangible Heritage has done. I'm here as a co-chair for a task force, you could say, working on capturing intangible cultural heritage into data. Chair Manvi was not able to join us because of visa problems, which is very unfortunate, but I'm sure she will be able to update us on her activities next time. So I will only be presenting what we have done together with Kia Tsarkaridis that encompasses everything that we have been telling. Also, we had the chance to talk about this. Oops. So how do I move to? Thank you also, Trills, because it was based on a presentation that or proposal that we did, that we started having this task force, combining the force of what we had already achieved in Belgium. The idea was to be able to present this to a global community. And of course, that should be CIDOC, and so this is why I'm here. On May 23rd, we did a hybrid session presenting the first steps of whatever that we had already encompassed at that time, but it was still a Dutch document, so we were going to translate it, but we did already a session with 170 participants online, and less or more 20 people who were live present. Of these 170 people, 18 CIDOC members, which it's not that bad, I think. So we were very surprised about how much this thematic lives, and that made us pursue this trajectory to come to Mexico to give a better understanding of what we did. And at this moment, we also, after that session we had, we also invited these 170 people who has been registered now as kind of associated to our work group with a questionnaire on what way they would think that the work group of the task force should be working on. Unfortunately, during this summertime or summer period, the responses were rather small, so we only had 21 responses, but it's something that we can already continue to work on. We tried to, we of course try also to involve this group of people to be more active also within the CIDOC community. So I think that in this case we are creating a win-win to foster this, let's say, this adopted community of people who are not from CIDOC. I understand that there are other working groups who are working in that same way, and we hope that we can join the forces together also with the chair into creating a new strategy for this work group. So I think that that's what I can tell you as of now. Thank you.
Chris, can I invite you to the table? You can join Zoom.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a brave thing and introduce another machine. Yeah.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah, join the machine. And so we have to start again. Okay, thank you. How do you start?
All set, I think. So first of all, I really want to thank the organizers of this current conference. So immensely great work. Thank you really very much. I'm one of the new faces here, so presenting where CIDOC 2024 will be is sort of a bit strange, but from other colleagues I already really heard that this is a really great community and all the hard work that is going on is really immensely nice to see. This might already give something away, but CIDOC 2024 will be in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So it will be a bit later in the year, so it will be from the 11th till the 15th in November, maybe with 2 additional days in the end, so don't book your tickets till Friday, but probably stay till Sunday. We do this because there's also a Dutch Heritage Month, a Dutch Digital Heritage Month, which we really want to align with so that we can hopefully have this nice interaction, what you got here with the Mexican community, also in the Netherlands. So why Amsterdam? It's really at the heart of European cultural heritage, which we really like. Rijksmuseum has always been at the forefront of open data. And I think one of the new things that we're currently developing and what we already, what Edward and I just presented, will be actually ready to use next year. So we'll actually be able to showcase some of the stuff that we're working on. And we're really happy to share that with you guys as well. This will be the tentative theme of the conference. So networks, building a web. And it's because museums operate in a connected world with systems able to share interconnected information and data within the GLAM world. With more data and infrastructure in place, care should be taken to strengthen the wider ecosystem. How do we respect the different points of view, manage complexity, develop sustainable ecosystems, and build trust? And this is maybe just building up that we see a lot of sort of not really isolated projects. A lot of people are using Getty vocabularies, but I think there was this grander vision of really reusing each other's data. And I think if we sort of can move more towards that, that would be really great as a theme of the next conference. So that's what we're going for. Why Amsterdam? So we have the renowned museum quarter, good public transport connections, Schiphol International Airport, wide range of hotels, and bitterballen. If you don't know what it is, you can ask Edward or me, and you'll probably know next year. I have a video. This is also, let's see whether it plays.
Sound? ¿Tiene sonido?
Here.
Make your journey to Amsterdam one to remember with a visit to the Rijksmuseum, home of Dutch masterpieces, such as The Milkmaid by Vermeer, Self-Portrait by Van Gogh, and the largest collection of Rembrandts in the world, including his masterpiece, The Night Watch. But there's a lot more to discover. Delft Blue, still life paintings, the Asian pavilion, and the architecture of this 19th century building itself. Enjoy a cup of coffee or lunch in our cafe, visit our shop and bookstore, or take a breath in our spacious garden. The Rijksmuseum is located on Museumplein in the cultural heart of Amsterdam, close to the main shopping areas and historic canals. Rijksmuseum, home of Dutch masterpieces.
Okay, thank you all. And we hope to see you all next year.
How many people didn't know already? So I know this is always the secret that gets out before it's intended, but it's okay. So please consider November 24 destination Amsterdam. For CIDOC 2025, we will go to Dubai, take place at the Triennial. For CIDOC 2026 and beyond, we have some suggestions, and I'm looking on one direction in the hall, but there might be others, so please let us know if your institution and your country would like to host CIDOC to take its annual meeting, its annual conference in your location. I jumped too quickly after Chris, so I actually wanted to say that the format that we tried here in Mexico was so successful again that we will try again in Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. And so the idea will be to have the working groups work together with the local community and pair up to propose some workshops. So for those working groups aficionados and interested, please be sure to propose themes. As we come to the end of our agenda, are there questions or any other business that anybody would like to bring to the table? I see a hand up over there.
I have a question about the October 27 AGM minutes, because I didn't find them from the web page of CIDOC, and I couldn't find them from my email sent by the CIDOC newsletter. Neither could a couple of my colleagues. So I was wondering if you could put them up somewhere so that we would know what are the minutes which we approved without maybe having received them.
Yeah, they'll be mounted on the file repo.
Pardon?
They will be mounted on the file repo.
Perhaps I will explain. So within CIDOC, we have a few online repositories where we place our content. We have one Google Drive that's for the general working groups, participants, let's say members, and then we have another Google Groups folder for the board. We also have, for the voted board, we also have an environment where we put working documents, and we have another environment where we put the final documents. We are navigating the best way to, for transparency, for all members to understand where all of the information is. And so thank you for your comment. This is noted, and that means that we still have some work to do. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. There was another message sent to the members about our statutes. This is not on the agenda. Thank you that you reminded me, Maya. The board has been working on a revision on the statutes because as ECOM has updated its statutes, we decided to wait for ECOM to finalize the process before CIDOC updated the statutes. ECOM has updated finally and closed that process, and CIDOC has accordingly also finalized its process. According to our current status, not adopted, we need a period between the time that we give our members a copy of the statutes and that you have time to read them and make sure that it represents what your, whatever you think must be in the statutes for CIDOC. And so we will be doing this online. An online vote that's not yet in a statutes, and in the new version that we sent, you will see that we don't consider that we have changed the wording in that now we're able to vote physically and also online. You know, the whole ECOM and the whole ECOM environment is the ECOM community is having to make some updates because of this hybrid working as well. So those will be other things that we communicate in the future. Shortly after, let's say a couple of weeks, within October, all participants will receive an email from the local committee with a bunch of goodies, including photos and including a number of things. But I think maybe I see a hand. Yes. Okay. Okay. Do we have any other comments or any other questions that you'd like to address? Okay. So with that, perhaps we can close our annual general meeting. I thank everybody again for taking part in all the CIDOC work throughout the year. And we have a great year coming up. A little bit longer than a year this time. We have to wait until November. We meet again. But certainly online we'll be seeing each other sooner. Thank you very much.